Hi everyone! Today we are going to be talking about multiplying binomials. But before we get into what exactly a binomial is, I want to go ahead and talk about what a monomial, binomial, trinomial, and a polynomial are. So a monomial, if we look at the prefix, we have mono, and that means one. So it's one term. So we can say 2x is a monomial. Binomial, the prefix is bi, so it's going to have two terms. So we can say it would be 2x plus 2. See how there's two pieces. Trinomial, tri is 3. So if we think about it, there's going to be 3 different terms. So we can say it's going to be 2x squared plus 2x plus 1. And as we can see, there are 3 pieces separated by our plus sign. It could be a plus sign, it could be a minus sign, but there are 3 significant pieces. Poly, if we look at the prefix polynomial, that would be more than 3. So we can write that like 2x maybe cubed plus 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. And we have more than 3. And it can go on and on and on for a polynomial. We can have so many different terms in a polynomial because there's many. So now let's go ahead and look at how we are to multiply them. So let's go back over here to multiplying binomials. So as we can see here in this example, we have a binomial here and we have a binomial here because there's 1, 2 pieces binomial, 1, 2 pieces binomial, and we are multiplying them. That is what these parentheses are telling us to do. When we multiply binomials, we should use the box method. Box method is a great way to multiply out our binomials. So let's go ahead and draw our box. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw my box. And I'm going to go ahead and divide our box into 4 quadrants. What I'm doing here is I know I have these 2 pieces, these 2 terms in my binomial, so I want to make sure that I have enough room and enough spaces to actually write these 2 pieces. So if I have 2x, I'm going to write 2x right here. I have this 3, so I'm going to write a 3 right here. Now, for this one, I'm going to write it on the top. So if I have a 4x right here, I'm going to write 4x. And if I have my 2 right here, I'm going to write 2. So that's how we're setting up our box, is that we are taking these 2 and writing them here, and we're taking these 2 pieces and writing them here. So when we set up our box, we need to make sure we have enough room to write them this way and enough room to write them this way. Okay? So now, because we are multiplying, we're going to be multiplying all of these. Okay? I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So, we need to multiply, and sometimes if you want to put a little multiplication sign there or a little dot so you remember, we're multiplying. So we're going to say 4x times 2x. So 4 times 2 is 8, and x times x is x squared. Okay? Now we have a 2 here. So we're going to say 2 times 2x. So we're going to say 2 times 2 is 4. And this one has an x, so we're going to bring this x over here. For this one, we're going to do 4x times 3. So we're going to say 4 times 3 is 12. And this one has an x, this one doesn't, so we're going to write 1x, just an x right there. And then here we're going to do 2 times 3. And in this blank, 2 times 3 is 6. Now, I'm looking at all of these pieces and I'm determining which ones are the same. Does anything else have an x squared? No. Does anything else have an x? Yes, 12x. So I know I can combine these two because they both have just one x. So they're able to be combined. And if we want to write this out off to the side, we can write it as 8x squared plus 4x plus 12x plus 6. We're getting the plus signs because they're all positive. We have no negative numbers. Let me scoot that over. I apologize. And what we're doing here is when I circle these two, I'm essentially circling these two right here. So if we combine them, we can write 8x squared plus 4 plus 12, and 4 plus 12 is 16x plus 6. And that is your answer. Now let's go ahead and look at another example. So for this example, we have two binomials, and we have y plus 5 times 2y minus 4. Okay, so I have binomial and a binomial. So I'm going to draw my box. And I'm going to make sure that it is big enough that I can write in my two pieces here and here and here and here. So I'm going to actually fix this line so it's a little bit straighter for us. I'm going to fix it like this. It's really important to stay as neat as possible so you can follow your work. So looking at our first binomial, we have y plus 5. So we're going to write y and we're going to write 5 here. Okay, and we can also know that our coefficient is this imaginary 1 if it helps you. Now for this one here, we have 2y, so we're going to write 2y here. And look here, we have a minus 4. Minus 4. So we have to take that sign and we're going to say negative 4 here. We have to take this sign. If there is a minus, we write it right here. Okay? So let's go ahead and multiply. We're going to have, and I'll even write my little multiplication dot right here, just so we remember, so we know what we're doing, okay? So 2y times 1y. So we're going to say, so 2 times 1 is 2, and y times y is y squared. Now, negative 4 times 1y. So we know negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. And this one has a y. This one does not, so we're taking our y. And look, I did negative 4 times 1. So that's a negative 4. Now we have 2y times 5 here. So 2 times 5 is 10. And this one has a y. This one doesn't have a y, so we're going to go ahead and write our y. Now we're going to look up here and go negative 4 times 5. So negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. And just like I did in my previous example, let's decide, does anything have a y squared? No. Does anything else just have a plain y? Yes, this one does. So we know that these two are going to be paired together. And then we have our negative 20, okay? That one doesn't pair with anything because this one doesn't even have a variable or a letter attached to it. And if we want, we can go ahead and write out each piece so we can look at it. So we have 2y squared minus 4y plus 10y minus 20. Let me scoot the camera over a little bit. And just like we did here, we know that these two are like terms. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of circle these two up here because we know they are like terms because they both have a y. So we know that we're not combining anything here, so we know this is 2y squared. And negative 4 plus 10 is actually a positive 6y. And we didn't do anything to this negative 20, so we're going to say minus 20. And that is your answer.